All right, everyone, we are back. The Throne Bros are back, and we're here to talk about season three of House of the Dragon. I'm your host Nando, and with me, as always, is the Three-Eye Raven.
Three Eye Raven in the building. We are back. Season 3, House of the Dragon. Should be a good ride. Should be a good ride.
Yeah, it should be, and we got a treat in this first episode. Uh, Extra time. We got a lot to see. We got a lot to talk about, so we're gonna get to it. First episode of the season is called Salt and Sea, Fire and Blood. So, you can already I guess say where this is coming from, but right off the bat, it was cool to see right off the bat. We start out in the Erie, somewhere in the Erie, and we just see a sheep on this mountain, and out of nowhere comes Sheep Stealer, that ugly ass mofo. um and he burns the sheep, does what dragons do to sheep. And then Bela appears. Um, Bela, right? I got the girl's
No, no, that's Reyna.
Reyna. Okay.
Yeah.
Reyna appears, who is the she does not have a dragon that she has claimed. She has been on a quest to do this. She was sent by Rhaenyra to go along with her two youngest sons to go over, east. They were actually staying in the Erie with the cousin. Um, and she saw the dragon from afar, and this was the infamous sheep stealer who, by all accounts, has never let anybody ride um them. I don't know if it's a he or she, but has never let them anyone be ridden. Obviously, this is a little bit different from the book, from what I've gathered. Obviously, Three Eye Raven. We don't have to get too deep into it, but in the book, that's not the writer for Sheep Stealer, but they're tying it, tying Reyna in to this. Anything major out of this, or we going on?
So in the book, it's a whole different person
Yeah,
named
Nettles.
Nettles.
Yeah,
Nettles. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess for the sake of time, they just didn't want to.
introduce the character, and yeah, tie
Yeah.
it in, tie it into the family, because obviously Nettles wasn't related to any of them at all, as far as we know.
Yeah.
She was just a common girl, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
common girl from, I guess, that area in the area, and she just found Sheep Stealer. So yeah. We move on to King's Landing, where we see the Maester get dragged out of his bed by Aemon. Um, he's accusing him of being basically a traitor, because
Yeah.
he can't find his brother, um, Aegon. So he's about to put him to the sword. Eamon doesn't believe any word he's saying. He's questioning like where is he at, everything. And then as he's about to sentence him to death, he gets interrupted by one of the King's guards, who says that Larys Strong is also gone as well. So um,
Yeah.
yeah. So Eamon's been, secretly, this is what Eamon wanted, and I don't want to get ahead of like the next scenes, but it jumps, unless you got something to add to that, it jumps over to Laris and Aegon traveling um on the road.
No,
Um
nothing to add.
yeah. So they're traveling on the road. It looks like they're going south. Am I correct?
I don't
'Cause-
know, cause I feel like I feel like they might be going north.
Okay.
I don't know,
Well, either
cause
way,
I couldn't tell what house it was. Like I was trying to look for the sigil.
yeah.
Like it was like a checkered like sigil and had I think it had like a bird or something. I couldn't find what house it was.
Yeah, well, they were connected to, they support the blacks, obviously, as the Three Eye Raven just let us know. They get stopped by this force, this small army from a house in the area that they're traveling, and they're like, nobody that basically the person who's taking charge of talking to Laris and Aegon is questioning them and basically saying nobody passes unless they bow to the queen, Rhaenyra. Laris being Laris kneels down and just lies through his teeth and bends the knee to Rhaenyra, but Aegon doesn't want to do it, obviously, and uh, he starts to make a scene, and then Laris throws him under the bus. So I don't know if that was a good strategy or bad strategy or whatever. But
Well, I think it's just Laris being Laris.
yes,
Like
being
he knew if he snitches, since they were gonna behead them both.
yeah,
Like he knew if he snitched, like they were gonna
yeah,
he's
he's
gonna
buying himself life. He's buying himself life, and
he's gonna live, and then he's gonna try to, once he gets in front of the Rhaenyra or whoever, uh, someone of power, he's always gonna try to do his tricks, like
yeah.
talk his way out of it. Like, well, I got the queen, whatever. Like,
I mean, as I have told to you before, I mean, I think he's the earlier, hundreds of years later, he's the, this time period's version of uh, uh, Littlefinger, and but maybe not as bad. But like I said, Littlefinger came after. He is, I guess, who you would. Littlefinger is the transformation, the next level of this, I guess.
yeah,
Um, Somebody who's just weaseling himself around just to stay in power and stay alive. So you know, so yeah, they basically he's like, this is Aegon, that's why he's not gonna knee, blah, and then like they don't believe him because honestly, unless you live in the Seven Kingdoms, nobody's ever seen unless you live in King's Landing, nobody's ever seen the king.
mm,
So, Larry tries to explain him. Yeah, he got burned by Meleese in this battle and blah blah blah, and then he like takes off his hood, and then like they see the burn marks and the blonde hair, and they're like, all right, well, we'll take them and then kill everybody else. So they kill the rest of the forces, and take them prisoner. Um, we go to Dragonstone where we see Jace and Rhaenyra talking. Rhaenyra is letting Jason in on the plan that she had a talk with Allison because she snuck in and she believes that Allison is telling the truth, and she said, "Look, we're gonna go in, while Aemon is gone with Vagar, and we're gonna take over the city because Aegon is incapacitated at the moment, so he's no longer. So we'll take over. She'll give up the she'll give up King's Landing. She'll give up, and without a fight, she just wants in return. She wants to be saved. You know what I mean? And like nothing happened to her and I'm blanking on her name, but her sister, yeah, her Helena, her sister. So Jace is questioning everything she said, which is gonna play out later in this. No spoilers, but Jace is questioning everything. They're kind of going back and forth, like why we should trust her, why do whatever. And then as their main argument, the council comes in because obviously there was a council meeting that was about to happen, or not council, but I guess a war plan or whatever, war gathering. Um, and then she opens it up to everybody who's at the table about what the plan is. She basically tells them it's like, send word to Corlys. I'm gonna need some ships, and we're gonna head to King's Landing with a few ships, and then the dragons will go. They question her too. I forget who was the main person that questioned her there, in the room. But it seemed like there was a lot of, and I guess I get it. Like nobody knows Allison like she does. Obviously, they were friends since they were little. I think there's still, we might have talked about it last season. There's still a hope from her that they're, in deep down, you know what I mean? Like Allison came to see her after, we saw Rhaenyra go see her previously, like in King's Landing. So they both like reached out to each other. And obviously you could basically say that like Allison is starting to see that this is gonna not end well, and she wants to talk to her friend. She's being forgiven. She's, you know what I mean, and wanted to return the favor of what Rhaenyra tried to, you know, the goodwill, I guess you could say, when Rhaenyra was in church, didn't do anything to her, whatever. Just wanted to talk to her friend, but nobody wants to follow the plan. Nobody trusts Rhaenyra. I mean, Allison. They think it's a trick, it's a plan, and that they're walking into a trap. But Rhaenyra goes on with it anyway. Like, well, she thinks she's going on with it. Let's knock ahead. She orders them to send the Ravens to Corlys and to send some ships. Sorry. Anything there that I missed that may have gone in the conversations there with the.
No, well, just to elaborate more on the plan, basically Allison tells Rhaenyra last season at the end, last episode, in 3 days' time, you could take over King's Landing and whatnot. Because Aegon's going to be gone, Kristen's going to be gone. So it's the opportunity to come in, soup, take Aegon. And, yeah. So, so far, no one knows the news about Aegon, but.
Yeah, and then
so
we transition to the next scene, which plays a part in this whole set of events that she's counting on to happen, and so is Allison. We come back to King's Landing. Allison is returning to King's Landing after she was gone. Obviously, we come to find out she's been gone for like 3 days, looks like. So she comes back. She's immediately alerted by one of like the Kingsguard, I believe, and she's like, "Oh, the king wants to see you in his chambers," which I think you already kind of see like in her face a little bit of a confused look or a shocked look, like why, like Aegon's not. He can't, like, why is Aegon calling me, like, or why, you know what I mean? Like, he can't be up. She starts to go to like his room, and then she is told like, no, we're meeting in the throne room. So when she walks in, it's Aemon sitting on the throne. And obviously, I think she already knows. I mean, she knows from before that, like, this is something Aemon's been wanting ever since forever, but like, especially since like his brother got burned, and she's been avoiding like that happening because I think she knows her son. She knows like what the power does and like what he's always like wanted. So she's kind of like, "What are you doing?" And they start kind of going back and forth like a little bit, and he basically tells her, "Well, Aegon's gone, like, so somebody's got to rule." Which Allison starts questioning him, like, weren't you supposed to be at Harrenhal? Why are you here? Which, because it's thrown a wrench into Allison's plan, of like, I want this to be over. Why are you here? Like, go over there. Like, so, Aemon's giving her somebody's got to rule, blah, blah, like, I got to be here, like, and then Allison does I think a good job to an extent of, like, convincing him that, like, he's not needed there, like, that he's safer, north, you know what I mean? Actually, am I getting ahead of myself on that one?
Yeah, because on this one, Aemon just tells her like, "Oh, I'm needed here since Aegon's not here."
Yeah.
And Ormond's marching with, I think he said like 15,000 men. They're gonna be showing up. So he doesn't get fully convinced yet.
Yeah, I got a little ahead. We'll get to that. But it's not over between them. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
Then we go. We see the ships of the Sea Snake. They're leading to I don't know exactly where, but it's north, correct? Where this this
Kingston.
battle, this quick battle is going on, obviously.
Oh, this was the battle at the Riverlands
Okay,
with
yeah. So
the Lannister army.
yeah, so we see Damon fighting. He's taking out. I think he takes out like two, three guys at the beginning of the scene. Um, looks like they won the battle. Um, I can't think of his name right now, but he's probably like one of my favorite like non-main characters. Um,
Oscar.
yeah,
Tully.
Oscar Tully. I just like the young man. Just put it out there. He's got a good attitude. It's funny, you know. Damon's like, all right, well, let's like he tells him like the Lannister, you know, the the twin brother of the guy that's in King's Landing.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Yeah, he's a Lannister. He was in charge of the forces. He ran once the battle started, you know, tilting their way is basically what um Damon is told, and then he's like, well, we got to keep going. Let's go find them. Which Mr. Tully basically tells him like, you know, well, we got to honor the dead.
Jason Lannister.
Okay, Jason. So Oscar tells him we got to honor the dead, and Damon's like not about it. He's like, well, Caraxes can take care of that and burn them all at one time. Whatever, it'll be quick. And he's like, well, that's not how we do it. They got to come back to the mud, like you know, Tully traditions, you know, Riverland traditions, like things like that. And as they're talking about that, they like hear a bunch of people coming their direction from the woods. So they kind of they they get alert and they kind of you know get attention, ready to you know go. And it turns out it's the Starks, the Stark army coming in through the woods. Um, so are we not going to see whether they change characters? Is that what I'm getting at? We're not going to see my man Stark that Jace made the treaty with, not treaty, but the agreement with. Did they change like the actor? Is that what we're getting at?
No, no, because he was young.
Okay.
Because he was younger. Uh, I think that's just like I guess the commander of the army. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know where the Stark is at.
Yeah.
We might see him later.
Yeah. Well, he comes in and basically says, you know, Stark army's here to fight, and basically gives Damon and the head of the Lannister that we just talked about. um, that I already forget his name, but
Jason.
Jason Lannister's head, and he's like, we're ready to fight for, you know, um, anything I missed there. I always like to check in with the 3 Hour Raven.
No, no, that was it.
Okay, then we go to some camp where Kristen and Allison's brother are at. And then, you know, Allison's brother's walking through the camp and sees like this young lady like leave in panic from a tent. And, you know, I guess he's not liking what he sees or whatever, obviously. He goes to talk to Kristen and basically tells him, hey, like, I witness our men doing this. Um, what are you gonna do about it? And Kristen Cole basically turns around very calmly and says, well, I'm one of your men. Like, you know, and yeah, I mean, he didn't seem like phased about it. He's like, all right, whatever. Like, they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. Um, but Allison's
Well,
brother, yeah, go ahead.
so basically, honestly, like ever since the one battle where Aegon got burned, like Kristen, he's been kind of like I wouldn't say careless, but like I guess numb would kind of be the word to like what's going on because I like he didn't really like defend the soldier, but he was just basically saying like, well, I mean, we're all gonna be beasts in this. in the whole battle. Like,
Yeah.
people gonna do whatever, like knowing that they might die, not justifying, what happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the girl got forced or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, Gwen calls Cole out about it. It's like, yeah, if you want to hang him, you can hang him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kristen's like he's kind of like checked out. He's not really like worried about. I guess he's just trying to stay
I
alive.
think he's realized like this isn't gonna end well. And I don't think he like he's gonna fight because it's in his like nature because of what he is, what he does, who he's become amongst the Greens, you know what I mean? Like the right hand man. And he might be just doing it for Allison, like, you know what I mean? And whatever. But yeah. Um Next we go to the three dragon riders are sitting there talking. Alf, right? Alf's the name.
Wolf, Wolf,
Alf is
Wolf, Adam, and Hugh.
you. They're sitting there. Ulf is saying some story about how he found out he was somebody. It was from a red priest that told him he was, and look, now I'm riding a dragon. And then like he basically asks. He's the same character we've known to see from like the last season, just like this. He won't shut up. He's just like talking, and then he asked Hugh how he found out he was like meant for greatness, or had king's blood, whatever he was actually like saying. And then like um, Hugh never answers because I think there's like a distraction that comes, doesn't it? I don't think he ever answers like the question.
Well, Wolf just keeps talking. Like he doesn't really give like excuse me, a chance to reply.
Yeah, because he won't shut up.
Yeah,
And it might be him just being nervous, but he just won't shut up as far as like we've ever like.
and he's drunk.
Well, yeah. So, but they're hanging out. They are somewhere up by the Riverlands or the Twins somewhere, and they are just waiting for like a signal to go help. You know what I mean? Um. Next, we go to Sheep Stealer again, and this time he is dropping. He is dropping Rain off. Like he just tosses her off of him, or well, I don't even know if he's a him or her. Like I said, tosses it off him, and then like she's like trying to get him to like obey. Talking to him in Valerian, and he just flies away. A good old sheep stealer. And then seems like that's it. Um, Then we go back to King's Landing. Allison's writing a letter. Who is this letter to? But I didn't get a good look. Do we even know?
It's the letter she sends it to Orman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. On Aemon's behalf, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we see what the letter says? I know when Orman opens it, it's kind of like,
Well, I mean, we'll get to that later, but yeah, Allison's writing a letter on behalf of Aemon to send to Orman.
yeah.
But this scene is more so about Helena.
Yeah.
Telling Allison Aemon's scared.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like not trying to attack. So this kind of sets up like what's gonna happen a little bit later on.
Yeah. So like also this see well I lost my train of thought and I don't even know if it connects to this. I think I was thinking ahead to like what I thought this was. But anyway, because I thought I didn't really get a good look at it. I thought like it might have been her. Obviously, we don't ever see it come to fruition by this episode. Spoiler. But I thought it might have been like her trying to send a warning to Rhaenyra of the change plans. But obviously, like now that I think about it, that's not true because that could be easily intercepted before it gets to a Raven, and then like it's like, oh, you're talking to especially with aiming around. He's very I say he panics. He's very distrustful. Um, so we go to a scene with Corliss and Adam's brother, Adam Hall's brother. So
Alan.
Alan Hall, and basically he Corliss is opening up a little bit. I would say he's coming out. He's basically saying like, look, um, in this conversation, basically tells us, yeah, I did, I don't know if he said love, but I did, enjoy your mother, and I tried to give you guys a decent life. You know what I mean? Like even like from the shadows, which Alan basically like says like, well, you didn't never gave us a name because like back in these, I mean, in these times, the name meant something. Obviously, a name meant something. To, you just, you're a Hall, you bastard. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
name meant something back then. So Corliss is kind of basically saying like opening up to Alan and basically letting him know like, look, like I always did my best, I guess, in the shadows. You know what I mean? As the best I could. You know what I mean? But obviously, like he was married, and he was, he did this outside of the marriage. So like, so which I don't know about you, but maybe like this changed Alan's like perspective a little bit, just because he finally got to have a talk. Maybe that's just me reading too much into it. Um, but
Yeah. You can say it.
yeah. So as they're talking, they hear Alan hears something outside. He rushes out um, of the cabin to see what's going on, and then they basically realize that the triarchy was near. So now they're getting in. They start to get in battle mode for taking on the triarchy, which obviously they weren't expecting. I mean, I'm sure they had a feeling that would happen at some point because they've always been at it. Whether or not it was going to be because they were on the green side, or you know what I mean, or just because like this is like I guess you could say the sea snake's biggest enemy. You know what I mean? So in this scene, obviously, you see Alan and Corliss, talk, attack plans of how we're going to handle this. But we also see the other Targaryen probably starts with a J as well. I mean, the other Lannister, sorry. He's ready. He's got his armor on, and he's talking to the leader of the Triarchy about like strategy about what to do. And she throws a different plan out of left field. She's like, "Look, we're gonna sail. We're gonna go north, right? And we're gonna head for the sea snakes castle, right?
Sure.
For Driftmark, and we're gonna burn it because nothing's gonna weaken the sea snake more than seeing his pride, which is his land, um, being torn apart. So her strategy is we're not even gonna attack him head on. We're gonna weaken him with a distraction of like losing his house, and then we're gonna go. Um, then that's gonna help, you know, the battle plans. Um, I mean, not. I didn't find anything like crazy meaningful that was hidden in this, like these early scenes of this. Um, did you? Did I miss something here with them? We got
Well,
Alan
I'll
and
explain it more like towards the end about like what kind of happened during this, like in the show versus the book. But
yeah.
yeah, we
I
keep
know
it.
there was some differences here. That I know, and like I said, I haven't read the books fully like you have. For the House of the Dragon, but yeah, there's a little bit of a difference here. Um, so they're getting ready to battle. They go back to Raina. She's back. She's like hiding. She's cold because I guess it's cold up in the Vale, or where she's at. Sheep Stealer comes back. and out of his mouth he drops two sheep. Um, he burns them, a little medium well there. It kicks one over to Reina. So basically, he's not. I wasn't gone. He's in. Look, I brought you some food. Like, you're hungry. You got me a sheep. I got us both dinner, and so basically, for strengthening, I guess, whatever connection they just begin to have, and like whatever. But maybe not as deep as we thought. Um, so, uh, yeah, but we'll see that later. Not to get ahead. We'll get into that, and there's a reason why. We'll get to it. So then we go up to the camp up in up by Harrenhal, wherever the Greens have set up, and we finally get to meet. We get to see on screen for the first time Ormond. Obviously, Ormond is Alice's uncle, correct?
Correct.
And he's been in charge of
No. Ormond is her cousin.
Okay, but he's been in charge while Otto's been in King's Landing, being the hand of the king all these years. Ormond was put in charge of their house in Otto's absence. So he's also the head of their armies. That's why he's here. And his squire, as you know, is Alicent's son, Darren, which we see, and he doesn't have blonde hair.
He has red hair.
Yeah, so.
And that's what's it called? That's not her son. That's her little brother.
Who? Darren?
Darren is what's it called? His little brother, Alicent.
Alicent's little brother?
Hold on. Actually, yeah. My bad. Yeah. This is.
I thought it was her son because she was asking her brother about him. Like,
yeah, it's her son.
And then she made a comment last season about like maybe he'll be raised right because he's not with me, or whatever. But so yeah, they're coming out of a tent. He is going to meet with somebody that just came into camp. It looks like somebody it's the person delivering the message from King's Landing, from Aemon. Do we know who this person is?
Just the messenger.
Just the messenger. Okay. Yeah. So they get into like a quick like back and forth. What is this thing he sniffs? Like it seems like from the previews that's his thing. I don't know if he knew from like the shows or whatever. He opens it, the letter. He reads it. I can't really tell everything that's said. I tried to pause it, but do you know what the letter says?
It's just telling them like not to move forward and wait because
he's running late.
Because since it's Aemon writing the letter, it's saying that he's gonna join them in 3 days to not like go towards King's Landing.
Okay. All right, and Ormond said he understood, and then they give that person a bath or whatever. They offer him some cleaning because that guy's travel fast. I guess obviously it wasn't a Raven. He went from King's Landing to wherever they were. When the guy looked worn out. Anything we missed there? Maybe a key moment or anything besides the letter. We come back to King's Landing, and Alicent is talking to Aemon again. She is trying to convince him. She is letting him know like her fears. Like if he stays here, like she fears like he's vulnerable because everybody's over there, and that's like because all the armies are over there. He's safest over there. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing here but impending doom of possibly dying. She is being overly the mother of the concerned mother. Obviously, we know she has other motives.
But she's also like kind of egging them on. Like I guess
she's boosting the ego.
She's gaslighting them about like being scared, and that's kind of how she convinces them.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, she is. Honestly, she really is. What she was saying, now that I What do you think about it? And basically, like, um, he ends up saying he's going. There's a weird scene at the end of this. Well, the weird ending to the scene where like he basically like agrees to it. They're talking by the fire, and Eamon gets real close, and then like he kisses his mother on the mouth, which Allison looks like so confused by while it's happening. Um, her eyes are open the whole time, and he said he's gonna throw a feast once he gets over the Heron Hall and takes it, and a feast in her name, I guess, right, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, that was. I mean, it was interesting, interesting scene, especially the ending. Um, you know, I don't know if you got any words for that there.
Well, I mean, just aiming with his. I guess he has mommy issues.
Well, yeah, we knew that. That I think we knew that when we found him at the whorehouse. Naked and in a fetal position, talking to the lady of the night. You know what I mean? That he's always going to or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, um, Eamon with his mommy issues. Um, we don't see Allison again. The rest of the episode, spoiler. Um, or Eamon. I don't think we see him again the rest of the episode. Um, we go back to our guy Ulf. Um, he's saying he's taking a shit in the woods, and then he starts like hearing things and like sees things. He comes out of wherever the area he was taking a shit at, comes out, runs to the other two, and he's like, "We got to get out of here. I want out of here. This place is weird or whatever." And then our girl appears, uh, and basically tells him like, "Yeah, what are you guys doing here? Like, you should be you should be a Dragonstone. Your queen is getting attacked. Basically, she's in trouble. You should be there." And they kind of question her because Ulf is being weird, and he thinks everything's weird. And she's like, they're like, "How would you know?" And she's like, "Well, I'm a witch." Like it just
Hmm.
basically tells them the witch. So she tells them, yeah, like you guys should not be here. Like you got to go, and I'm a witch, so you should like trust me because I'm already weird. I guess is what she was trying to portray there. But um, yeah, that's that.
So, on this part, there was a quick sighting of a man or some type of creature with antlers. I don't know if you peeped that.
Yes, I did.
So that's someone. They're called the Green Men.
Okay.
They're kind of like the children of the forest, but they like protect like the riverlands. So
Okay.
they're kind of like the mythical
Well, they
creature.
showed him when he was taking a shit. They showed a goat, like an actual goat, and then they growled like a lion or something, or you know what I mean, which was like weird. And that's what I guess what Ulf got freaked out. But and then you see the guy with the
Yeah,
horn and on top of the mountain, and then what's her name appears.
yeah,
Um, once he's freaking out. Um, we go to Dragonstone, and Rhaenyra is getting told by Bela, right? This one I
yeah,
got right. She was getting told by Bela that the gullet is getting attacked. That the fleet with the sea snake and the Valerian fleet is getting attacked at the gullet, and you know that it was time to go. Um, Jace obviously insists because Jace has been going through 2 seasons, well, since he became a teenager, of trying to prove that he belongs. It's kind of he's got that syndrome of like he knows he's not a Targaryen because his mom was messing around, so he's trying so hard to prove it, and that's why he's going back and forth with his mom. So we have now, you really see it. You have two different stories here going on with mother and son. You got one. son who's defying his mom because he wants to prove himself. And we got another one who just has like mommy issues in the other sense of like, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Allison's trying to talk to her son about, hey, go do that. You know what I mean? Like we got it here. Like you don't need to be here. While Jace is just trying so hard to like get by the I'm a bastard complex that he knows he has, and also you know what I mean, wanting mom's trust to be able so she could trust him to do things.
Mhm.
And you know they get into it a little bit here, and then Jace just leaves with Bayla. And then we get the surprise as Rhaenyra tries to leave as well. Um, she is told that she can't go um, because the King's guards keeping her there, and they were ordered by Jace to keep her in and lock her in her chambers and not let her out. Um, I kind of skimmed through that. Any further details there?
No. So I mean, Jace just convinced the guard to keep her locked in there.
Yeah,
Nothing really.
nothing really
Um,
special. He just convinced her. She's freaking out. Obviously, because she was like, I would expect this from other people, not my son. Um, and she's flipping out, obviously, over it. I forget her name right now, but she tries to console her, like, hey, like this. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I forgot that they cut in the scenes a little bit. But after Jace leaves, we go into the battle. They're already deep in the battle. There's ships burning. You know what I mean? They're going back and forth, spears, flaming cannonballs, things like that. Um no, but I mean I can't say at this point like anybody had a clear advantage yet, but um they are obviously they're fighting on sea. They're trying to figure out strategy about, using the wind, all the sea stuff, whatever. Alan and Corliss, bonding moments between the father and son, I guess, finally, Um, then they switch back to Dragonstone at one point, and that's when Rhaenyra's flipping out. She can't believe that like her son like did that. Um, she like I said, like I got ahead of myself. She said she would expect that from somebody else, not her son. Like maybe like her people on her council who are always doubting her, like that. And that seems obviously as a parent that is hurting her emotionally. Obviously, that her son would do that. She takes like her battle dress, I guess you could call it, or battle attire, and she kind of just like stabs it with the knife, and it just like shreds it, or just whatever. We don't see the finished product, but she kind of just like stabs it a few times. Um, we go back to the battle, and then we see Bayla and Jace arrive, and their two dragons. They start, Dracarys everywhere. Um, This gives the Valerian fleet a little bit of joy. They all kind of rejoice because they see the two dragons, and obviously people get comfortable. You see the dragons were good. Um, I guess we see the first version of the as we know now the bow, the the scorpion. Is that what they used to call it back then?
they already had it at King's
Uh,
Landing.
you're right, but this one was on a boat that I guess like this one was different though. This one was like it was supposed to sink the dragon because it came at the other end of a weight that went down to thing. They shoot one at Vermax. It hooks to his saddle wrap, uh, the wrap that comes around to make sure the saddle stays there. So it hooks to it, so it didn't actually hit Vermax, like made impact to his body or anything like that. Um, Bayla comes in and saves the day, and like as Vermax is getting dragged down to the ground, she comes in with her dragon and Moon Dancer, and breaks the rope. So Jace is free as of right now. They're both kind of, and you could kind of tell like they've obviously these are teenagers. They've obviously there hasn't been many Targaryens in years that have battled on dragons, so you could kind of tell they're not like fully experienced in doing this, you know, in a battle setting, like because they're all over the place. Like you can't prepare for that. It is what it is. So they get away from that. They're flying. They're doing their thing. Corlys is working on a plan because he sees I forget her name right now, and I should know better, but um
Lohar.
yeah, he sees her like chasing him, his main ship. Uh Corlys has a plan to go through this area where there's very shallow water and a lot of like rock area, but he tells Alan like I know how to navigate through this, like just follow me and we'll get through it, like and she'll get stuck or whatever, you know what I mean? Like this is how we're gonna like avoid them get stuck. Um Corliss gets through, I mean, well, he had somebody driving at first, but then takes the wheel at like the hardest part of the whole thing. They get through. Um, the Triarchy comes in with I think like three ships chasing them. Like two of them end up like hitting the rocks as like the plan was gonna go, and then the main ship makes it through. Once they make it through at the outside, this is when like they're coming closer, but Corliss has a moment where he kind of looks to out and beyond and sees, just like she said, he sees Driftmark on fire, and he kind of like he freezes in time while shit's going on around him, and he's just there, like flabbergasted, like time pause for him. Um, and before he takes that look, real quick, we see before I skip over it, we see Moon Dancer coming in with Reyna. They're flying in. Yeah, they fly in. Well, they don't fly into the battle, but they're flying in by dragon. They're flying in by well, what did I say? Moon Dancer?
Moon Dancer, yeah.
Well, Sheep Stealer. Sorry. Yeah, I got. Reyna comes in with Sheep Stealer. And she's telling Sheep Stealer like, look, look, Sheep Stealer, we're home because they're flying by Dragonstone. Um, and so that means she's making her way to Dragonstone, and then she realizes there's a battle going on when she like makes it like to Dragonstone. Um, and then is when Corliss realizes like, hey, Driftmark's and burning as the ship's approaching. Um, they make contact. They smash into the side of the Corliss's ship. It starts a battle between these two um, boats. During the split, um, well, at one point, Corliss falls to the water. Um, but also, like, at the same time, Sheep Stealer and Reyna come in, and then we find out that Sheep Stealer's untamed because he's burning anything and everything, and Reyna can't control him. She's trying to get him to, obey. Those are the right people, which also because because Bela and Jace don't know that Reyna found a dragon because they haven't seen her in months, possibly years, because of however time flies in this. Um, they just see this dragon burning some of the Valerian boats, and they're like, "Well, that's got to be a bad person," and they automatically turn their attention to them. We come back to Corliss because during the impact, Corliss kind of gets knocked out. He wakes up and starts battling. Him and Alan they're going hard in there. Alan falls in the water, not Corliss. Alan falls in the water first. He's battling, uh, finds his way back up, takes off his armor, finds his way back up. He was getting like dragged down by the armor, so he just takes it off and makes his way back up to the boat. Um, while this is going on, the dragons are in the air. Sheep Stealers like going crazy, and then he like kind of goes out. Oh, he does. He starts going in Baylor's direction, almost hooks her, with the claws and the feet, and then like kind of obeys, but it keeps like following her. So that gets Jace's attention to go over there as well, and follow, try to help Baylor. Um, Obviously, battle keeps going. Eventually, um, Corliss and what's her name battle. Uh, he gets her. He's dominating a little bit there. He um end up getting he ends up falling to the sea. Sorry, and then Alan ends up continuing the fight. Uh, and he ends up killing her, stabs her in the neck while they're fighting in the water. And that's that between them. It shifts to the dragons, chasing each other. Like I said, Sheep Stealer is just going after. It was going after Jace. Now it was going after Bela. Jace jumped in, so he turned his attention. While Jace jumped in, Jace gets hit by the scorpion. This time it makes contact with Vormax's body. Um, and it starts to, drag him down because this is like what this thing was designed to do. This Pacific Scorpion starts to drag him down. Sheep Stealer flies away. Um, Bela tries to get Moondancer to dive to kind of, save Jace again. Um, this time Jace is too low. Moondancer can't get there to grab enough rope to, under him to get enough rope. And unfortunately, Varmax falls to the ground. I mean, not the ground, the water, causing Varmax to, leave us. Unfortunately, um, Jace Jace is still hooked to the seat. He unhooks himself, comes up to the level to get air, and almost somebody called it almost a what's it called moment. Uh a what's it called? Rob Stark moment, like at the wedding. Because he like gets hit and then like he's just sitting there and then he gets hit again. So he gets hit like three times by a couple arrows, and Jace unfortunately has passed as well as his dragon. Um and that's and it ends with the the scene, and the episode ends with a little bit of, they show a little bit of the carnage. Alan is standing up, coming up from the water where he was fighting, and he ended up killing the leader of the Triarchy. And then you see Bela flying away from the area, and that's how the episode ends. Um, Obviously, Three Eye Raven, this is your court right now. Obviously, as we know, we kind of hinted at there's some stuff you got to go over with our fans, as there was some differences from here in the book, and especially with this battle, which you could take it away.
Yeah, so the difference between this and the book, right? And in the book, the Triarchy, they actually they stopped the boats that Rhaenyra's sons were on, and they captured one of them, the oldest one, I think Aegon. He ends up escaping on his dragon, and he actually gets back to Dragonstone, I think. But the reason why Jace wanted to go into battle was because he wanted to save his brother. So he wasn't necessarily just trying to like just fight, but he wanted to like save his brother. So um he wasn't really trying to.
Prove mom, he just wanted to save his brother,
Yeah,
be the big brother because he already lost a brother.
yeah, like he didn't really care about like, you know, getting like experience or whatever, like he just wanted to, like he genuinely just wanted to save his brother. uh and what's it called, also the different, something different. Like Ulf, Alan, Adam, Hugh, and Nettles, they joined this fight like as well in the
So
books.
so I heard that today. Obviously, we didn't talk about it last season, and that's not you're a 3 hour Raven. That's not your fault or not. We just didn't like go deep into it. But that's the one thing I did hear today while doing my own research on stuff that popped up in my algorithm. But in the books, the idea of these, I guess you call it the bastard riders or whatever you want to call them, that idea wasn't Rhaenyra's, it was actually Jace's, correct?
In the book, yeah.
Yeah, in the book. So like those were Jace's people, like, you know what I mean? Not like Rhaenyra's. So like they went with him. That's like the one difference too, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah. To continue. If
But yeah, yeah. So they all four of them they joined the battle. Like in the show they didn't none of them joined except Sheep Stealer was there, but Nettles wasn't. But yeah, so that's the difference pretty much uh
in the
between them.
book, does that happen? That ending we got?
Yeah, yeah, he gets
Okay.
Vermex gets hit with the arrow, ends up sinking, and then
Jace.
Jace unties himself and gets hit with the arrow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that part was, to following that storyline.
yeah. But other than that, yeah, that was the battle at the gullet.
Yeah, I mean it was good. It was well done. I mean, it was a good start to the episode. I mean to season, not the episode. I think that obviously this is we have the 3 hour Raven here. He's gonna let us know what's not. But this our fans, whether you're new or don't get too concerned about the differences. Just enjoy it for what it is. Obviously, you can't fit every character in the book, unfortunately, as great as some of these characters that we want to see are. But yeah. So like, I think that a lot of like, I'm sure, obviously there'll be an aftermath. Obviously, once Jace knows, Jace. Oh well, not Jace, but Rhaenyra gets told of what happened, and then like, I'm sure there'll be some discussion between Rhaena and Bela about what the hell was that once they figured out like, oh, that was you or whatever. Because I don't even think they knew when she even left with Sheep Stealer or Sheep Stealer decided to leave that, and then the Jace thing happened. I don't think they even knew who was riding still. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
mm,
because you know, but I think that obviously if we're keeping count, we are down. The blacks are down 3 dragons to 1, right? Because I think what's it called passed, right? Aegon's dragon.
no, no. Technically, she's still alive.
Okay. But
Yeah,
injured.
Sunfire. Yeah, yeah. Technically, she's still alive.
Okay. So we're down 3-0. The blacks are down 3-0 dragon wise. Out here. But they won a battle. Well, would you say there was a win well, they won the battle of where Damon was at. Over there where they took care of the Lannisters,
Mm.
but I'm talking about like I don't even think that there is a winner. I was thinking of that today. Like there was no clear winner in this. Obviously, everybody lost something. Um, so I wouldn't even proclaim anybody a winner in the gullet. Obviously, like I said, Rhaenyra down a dragon, down a son. You know, also possibly because we don't know the outcome. Possibly down the commander of the ships. Her hand, uh Corliss, because he falls into the water from the battle and we don't see him the rest of the episode. We don't know if he lived or die, and we're not gonna spoil it here, but that's also, going into the next episode, something to think about. Where everybody stands, obviously. As we know, I can probably predict that this is going to hit Rhaenyra hard. Rhaenyra always loved their children, no matter what um no matter what, you know what I mean? Obviously, whether, you know, I mean, she knew they were bastards, whatever. Like, she knew what she was doing, but like, you know, she loved her children. That's the thing. Do you also think, now that I'm thinking about it, I was thinking about it randomly today, thinking about,
Mm.
like, you know, the episode. Do you think that it's just ironic, like the way it was written, that like, not the show, but in the books, that like her somewhat illegitimate sons like died, and all that's left is the actual, like, what people would consider in the kingdom the actual heirs to the throne, that would be, because they are blonde and they are, you know what I mean, her sons with Damon, you know what I mean, like, just ironic how that like played out, you know what I mean.
I mean, it's hard to say,
Yeah,
you know, but um, it's just part of the history, I guess. Like Jaehaerys said, like the only downfall to the Targaryens are their own, you know.
themselves.
So you know,
So
it's just how the way things played out, I guess.
I mean, so what are you looking forward to this season? I mean, what do you think they're gonna get to? How deep do you think they're going to get to? Obviously, we know, spoiler, that I believe it's been confirmed that there will be a fourth season, but that's probably going to be the end. So, how far do they stretch it? Do you think, how, like season three? I mean, like, was this the are we going to get another battle, or is this like the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
one we're going to get?
I think I think they might end it with Rhaenyra going to King's Landing because they said 3 days, so a lot can happen. They could stretch it out
Yeah,
those 3 days, and just to kind of draw in the crowd for the next season. So, but yeah, it's the final stretch. The dance. So, I mean, I hope they don't try to drag it out too bad, but yeah, we should see some good action this season.
definitely, definitely. Um, I'm looking forward to it. I think it was a good start to it. Um, jump right back in it. Obviously, we know that people love some good action. Um, I mean, well, people, but I mean, we're not here. I mean, we welcome all, but like, obviously, I say that it that first episode like that catches the eye of like the person who's just tuning in just because like they heard something about it. Um, which is fine. Like I said, we welcome all. We're not gonna judge. Better late than never. And if you're starting with this, like, this is the prequel to the big show. You know, right now it is the big show, but you know what I mean. This is the prequel, and you know we welcome all here at the Throne Bros podcast. Um, when it comes to Game of Thrones, we want everybody to be part of the the Game of Thrones family here. Come learn with us. Come come be in this journey with us. Obviously, um, we'll welcome you in. We'll let you know. We'll let you know what's going on and everything like that. Yeah, but yeah, man, great episode to be back on. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It's gonna fly by. That's just how it goes because I think it's just gonna be really good. But yeah, um, yeah, that's all I got today. 3 Hour Raven. Anything else for the fans? Anything else for the beautiful people out there?
Appreciate everyone that's tuning in. We'll be back weekly.
That's right. We'll be here weekly with your recap. I'm Nando, and that is the 3 Eye Raven, and we are the
Yep,
Throne
yep.
Bros. Until next week, peace out.
Peace.